And of course, I am ready to do the Strive tier list for mid-level players. I'm not a high-level player, I'm not a tournament-level player, but I do know my lane of the mid-level player that's, you know, that's better than average. And, you know, but definitely not like a complete scrub. Speak for yourself. You should stop losing to me if you don't want to consider yourself mid-level and start winning some tournaments. When you start winning some tournaments, I will consider you high-level. But that being said, or making top 8, you could get top 8 too. You get top 8 placement, and I would be like, yeah, Lab is definitely a high-level player. But until then, we're all mid-level here. We're not quite pros. We're not quite tournament players. Let's get down to it. Now, the first one's easy. The first choice on this list is obviously So Badguy. Where does So Badguy go? He's Soul tier. He has his own tier list. S stands for Soul, and that's Soul tier. Who's the second best character in the game? I mean, real fast, why is he top tier? Those plus frames on his S buttons, Bucky, mid-level at best. Those plus frames on his S buttons, the gigantic damage that you get off his conversions mid-screen in the corner, like no one quite does it like So. Anything combos from screen to screen, corner to corner, everything works. This character is fantastic. This character is great. So yeah, Soul has everything. Soul has big damage. He has invincibility. He has gimmicks. Like making everybody feel powerful. This is an amazing character. Who do I think is the second best character that has amazing damage that could take you corner to corner very easily? It's Mei. I think Mei is definitely the second best character in the game. After much thinking, well, we'll get to it. I think second best character in the game is Mei. Yes, she has gigantic damage. She has huge conversions. It's hard to punish her jumping H. She doesn't have the plus frames that So Badguy has, but what she has instead is a 60 to 70% dust combo. So that's a meterless, a guaranteed burst if they don't want to take the 60% dust combo. That's the scaling's all fucked up on that. No one does a dust combo that much damage. It's always like 40 to 50. She has a 60% one. And she has plus frames on Dolphin. She has Dolphin shenanigans, and Jump H is probably the best button in the game. Jump H is probably the best button in the game. Like easily. So I would say Mei is probably second best next to Soul. Who would I say is third best and the highest chance of getting you dubs without trying too hard is Ram. I'm not downplaying that hard today. Ram has also amazing buttons. She doesn't have as much crazy mid-screen without meter, but with meter she can take you screen corner to corner too. Just not as easily. What's going on? Low puns. Yeah, so Ram has gigantic buttons. She has disjointed hitboxes. She has ridiculous damage in the corner, ridiculous pressure in the corner, and she has Sword Geyser. Sword Geyser does 40%, you know, on most characters, more if you're in the corner. Just a ridiculous character. The scaling's really good. I think she has the highest chance of falling off the longer the game is out and the more people start learning games. So I think she'll eventually be A tier, but at the moment, since no one knows what they're doing, she's S tier for now. But she has the highest chance in the top 6 to fall off and only get worse. In terms of tier placements for mid-level players. Now, who has a high chance of improving is Chipp. I think Chipp is definitely up there too. Probably 4th or 5th best character. He's tied with the next 4th or 5th best character. Why is Chipp good? Chipp has run-up ambiguous, like 33 is what I mean by that. Low overheads and throws. He has that option just by running at you. He can meaty you. Once he knocks you on the ground, it's a guessing game, and he has the advantage in terms of where he wants to go. He has 2K too, and unless you're a character that's like Kai or Leo or maybe Mei, I haven't tried Mei out yet, that hits that 12 o'clock, between 12 and 1 o'clock overhead, you're gonna get hit by 2K, or he's gonna be able to keep on doing it, and it's gonna be pretty hard to keep him out of there. So I would say Chipp, probably the 4th best character in the game. 4th or 5th. The next 4th or 5th best character in the game, tied with Chipp, is Leo. I think these two guys have a lot going on. Leo's an NRS character. What do I mean by that? An NRS character is someone with a decent projectile. He probably has the best projectile in the game. And when he gets in your face, he puts you in a perpetual 50-50. You guess the 50-50 correct, congratulations, you get to guess again. And that's Leo, right? Leo came from a Mortal Kombat game, and he's in Guilty Gear for some fucking reason. Once he gets going, ridiculous damage. NRS level damage, 40%, off an overhead or off a low. And he can take you corner to corner once again. He has, depending on who's playing, like I said, Chipp and Leo can go back and forth with each other. And these are very much tied for this placement. I think these three have more going for them currently, but these two, I think, could go back and forth. Debatable. These are my opinions, of course. This is not set in stone. This is just for fun. And the sixth best, I keep on saying this to anyone that's willing to listen, and the character that has the most chance of getting better and better the longer the game is out. Yo, what's up, Shadow Persona? Is Nagoriyuki. Why is Nagoriyuki this high up on the list for me? Gigantic range, humongous range, a special move that puts him at 0, and his heavy slashes gets better and better and better the more blood he has. And once you control how much blood you spend, usually, this character just becomes a damage machine. You're talking about 60%, 70% combos. If you get a vampire bite, you get like this crazy infinite loop thing where you could just go to 214H into DPH, right? And you can loop that until your blood bursts, and that does a ridiculous amount of chip damage if you get the command grab. That's a big if, right? You could always just burst. If someone bursts you, you're dead. But if they don't burst you, you could do that. You could do 5SS, and then you could backdash into more 5SS, or you can wait into a 2H. Like, this character is really, really good. Huge damage. So what I think's gonna happen in a month is probably these two trade places, and maybe May falls off a little bit once people get more matchup experience. But currently, in terms of month 1, it looks like this. But I think Ram is gonna fall off once people get used to her. May is gonna fall off once people get used to her, and Nagoriyuki's gonna go up. My thoughts, of course, but we'll see how accurate that is, because Ram does struggle if you keep her mid-screen. May has a lot of shenanigans, and once the tech for how to beat jumping H is out, I think she'll be more manageable. So probably needs a nerf. So probably needs some number adjustments, or damage adjustments in order to be on par with everything else. But if we bring everybody else up to his level, I think they'll be doing pretty great. All right, so who is just shy of top 6? Who is in the A tier that is very, very good, big threat, big scary, and I think the one with the highest potential, of course, is Zato. Right, Zato, no DP or anything, but once he gets going, he does have the big damage. He does have the good block strings. The block strings are really, really good. He has pose. Right? Pose is terrifying once someone gets really, really good with that shit. You can't press a button on them, you get command grab. And I think the longer the game comes out, the longer the game is out, the higher and higher Zato's going to go. Got mix. The biggest issue holding this guy back right now is he doesn't have a reversal. Pose on command is evil. It's great. It's absolutely amazing. The only thing holding him back is no true reversal, but we have yellow Roman cancel in this game, so it makes it a little bit better. I think, once again, the longer this game is out, the more impressive Zato is going to be seen, the more tech that we're going to see. I think this is definitely a character to look out for. In a similar vein, I feel that way about Millia too. I feel like the longer the game is out, and if everybody else gets adjusted, I feel like Millia might dodge most of that, really. If there is a balance patch coming in the future, I feel like Millia is gonna dodge all of it, and she's honestly fine. She has a unseeable high-low. I can't see the difference, right? If she presses 5C in your face, she could go into the moon overhead immediately, or she could go low. And I cannot see the difference. And then she could RC and then you're in a lot of trouble. Like, this character's good. This character could go corner to corner, has pretty good damage, has good ulti. If the other characters weren't so ridiculous, if like Leo wasn't in the game, or Chipp had like slightly better like ulti options, I think Millia would be up there with the complaint about characters. I definitely would not sleep on Millia. I think she's great. And definitely really scary to keep out. Now, the character that I dropped almost like immediately after seeing how strong this guy was in this version, Chipp and Millia, the character I had to drop because of these two characters is Axl. TK Moon is 16 frame, you remember correctly? You aren't reacting to that? Yeah, you're not reacting to Tiger Knee Moon. Like, it's a high-low off the 5C, and I'm like, oh my god, that's really fucking good. Alright, so why isn't Axl higher? So Axl does decently, I think, against Mei, does decently against Badguy. He does okay against Ram. He loses against Chipp. Actually losing against Chipp. And then everybody else he does okay against. He does okay against Yuki. He does okay against Leo. He beats Zato, right? And then he struggles versus Millia as well. But these two fast characters keeps Axl down. Otherwise, Axl's really fucking good. If Axl never has to run into Chipp and Axl never has to run into Millia, fantastic. He's lower because he loses the Anji max matchups. He's also not great versus Anji, which is just kind of sad. You just came into stream and you see 6 characters in Soul Tier. Yeah, 6 characters in Soul Tier for sure. But yeah, no, because of these two characters, he would be higher. Like, he would probably be here if these two characters did not exist, but because they do exist and they are very popular, Axl is there. He does good damage this game. He has full screen mix-ups, you know, command grab strike. Close up, he has high-low mix-ups that he could RC into damage. He could corner to corner, or he does huge corner damage if you do TK Axl bombers. Wait, how is he not good in Anji matchup? So the reason why he loses the Anji matchup is because all his primary pokes from mid-screen loses to spin. If Anji spins, because of the slow startup on Axl's normal, Anji gets in for free and Axl gets punched. So Axl could hard call out that with command grab, but Anji is not committed to spin every single time, right? So in a way, whatever Anji does, Axl has to guess correctly or he'll lose half his life and Anji gets in. Yeah, you love fighting Axl because he's the only character that you can hard spin. Okay, that's some BS? Yeah, no, Anji will give him a hard time too. So Anji, not a great character, but he does beat Axl. I think he definitely does beat Axl. So either that or there's some missing tech that I'm not aware of. So yeah, that's why Axl is where he is. And the OS is doing spin, and then command grab reaches out, react, and let go. Then you go in the air. Yep. So Chris is talking about how he would jump in the air with the 236S spin. That also turns into an anti-air where he keeps in the air, and that beats basically Axl poking, and it also beats command grab. So like Axl has to commit to running up, throwing you, in order to beat that, and it's a lot to take in. It's not very easy. And then watch, they're gonna nerf Anji next patch. Arxis has nerfed the worst characters in the game before in their first patch. So wait, does Spin have grab and bow? Spin does not have grab and bow. Axl has to guess correctly. So the reason why that particular spin, 236S spin, beats it is because that's also his uppercut. And at any time he sees the command grab, he can let go of S, and then he'll be in the air. Oh god, no, you was joking? No, they have done it before. Arxis, this is your first time playing the Arxis game on launch? They have nerfed the worst character before. Now we get into the more controversial takes. Maybe they're controversial, but the next one probably is not too controversial. I put Giovanna. I think she's amazing. And as players get better and better with her, she's definitely a high skill floor character, right? Like the high skill floor character. Why is she high skill floor? It's because like she does a lot of damage, and once she's in your face, you are committed to blocking her all day. So, all right. Anyway, why Giovanna? Right? Giovanna has amazing damage, amazing pressure. She has plus frames. People are like, when do I block? When do I press a button against Giovanna? Well, find out which moves she has as plus. She has 4 moves that are plus on block. figure out what those are, and then poke in between. She's not higher. She's not higher because a lot of her approach gets stuffed by 6p, and any character in the game has a 6p, right? Every character in this game has a decent 6p that can stop her. And then the other thing is, I don't think her anti-air buns are amazing. As a character, I don't think her anti-air buns are amazing. She also has 6p, she has 2h, and she has the jumping options as well. She should jump P rapidly to like keep people off of you, right? But like it's not like super duper amazing as an option. So if she could get past these issues, she could just maul you, right? She is a similar playstyle in my head as Millia and Chipp, but not quite as fast and doesn't have the aerial game. She's more grounded. Geo2D is a crime. Oh yeah, Geo2D. Geo2D has a... It's not invisible. You can see it. You can see the dust that pops off of it, but it hits like a third screen, right? 2D is her long range confirmation. It hits 1/3 of the screen. It probably goes as far as Zato's 2S, right? With the hand, shake my hand. But yeah, 2D is very good. She can confirm off a counter hit 2D in the dog arrow. In the corner, she gets other crap off of 2D, off of counter hit 2D. Very, very good move. I think Geo is only gonna get higher. If she doesn't make S tier, I'd be very surprised as the game comes out. Like, I think she would be on top of A tier, if not S tier. Once people start figuring out how to be comfortable with her, once you start getting it. But ridiculously high skill floor. I would not recommend this for a beginner. I would not recommend this character for someone that wants to win in their first few games playing Strive. Like, you're not gonna get a lot of wins in the beginning. You're gonna get crushed, actually. This character is not easy, and you're gonna have to spend some time learning her ins and out, so you can keep people from jumping at you in the air, and to tighten up your pressure enough so you can finally start getting wins. Hard character, but really good. Is she better than Axl? Nah, probably not. I think Axl's a little bit better, so I think Axl beats her too. So, all right. Now we are. I think that's it for A tier. I think everybody else is going to be. It's not gonna be surprised. Not gonna be surprised by where I place these characters. So I think on top B tier, or you could just airdrop. You could just airdrop too. You feel like Zato 2S is longer by a smidge. It feels very similar. I think Zato 2S is definitely a lot faster, but you don't quite get like Geo 2D kind of bullshit off of it, right? Yeah, you get some decent stuff. You get a summon. You get some mix-ups. But 2D, you're like, oh man, you could die here. I get hit by 2D. I gotta get ready to burst or something. Yeah, free appears. Sometimes you get free summons. You get drill. Yeah, block drill. You get fraud if it's a counter hit. Anyways, it's decent. All right, so the first character that could use a little loving, could use a little love, is Kai. Kai's not bad. Kai's just boring, but. He has decent damage, right? He has decent damage. He has a decent projectile game. But what's the issue here? Well, what is the problem with Kai in this game? And it's that these characters exist. This top row of characters exists, and they like kind of like do what he does better. Leo does everything Kai wants to do better. What can Kai do that Leo can't do? What? Slide low into a punishable move? Leo can run across you. Same thrill, same danger. What, he wants to poke really far? Well, this guy pokes better, right? Like, you want to do crazy corner damage? This one does better. You want long ass limbs? Well, she has jumping edge. What is Kai offering that these characters are not? Not much. He is an all-rounder. No, we're still doing the tier list. I'm explaining everything tonight, so yeah. No, Kai needs something to stand out. A projectile game, you guess. Leo has the best projectile in the game. Oh yeah, Dragon install. He has Dragon. It's useless. Every game that you spend 50 tension on Dragon install is 50 tension you're not gonna be able to use for Ride the Lightning or an RC combo that's gonna win you the game. Only thing Kai gets is Dragon install, and that's shit. Exactly. So. Either make Dragon install available all game, right? He can activate it as soon as he hits 50% and he becomes an actual threat. I think that would fix him. Make Dragon Install available as soon as possible, like old Dragon Install. Maybe on a time limit, right? Maybe on a time limit. And then I think Kai would be a little bit better. Because right now he has nothing that makes him stand out except that crappy Dragon Install, and it's not really good. I think if they tweaked how it worked, I think this character could go places. Next character that could use a little bit of work is Ino. This one's hard. This one's actually really hard to put her here. Why? Why is Ino here? And it's because her dash kind of sucks. That's really it. Like, I think once she gets started, like, she's fine. She's great. Like, she's great. Like, I think once Ino gets going, she could high-low mix up you. She could, you know, set up Oki options. She has the commit to duty. Her damage is not great. Make Chemical Love hit a bit lower. Oh yeah, Geo standing could avoid all hits of Chemical Love unless she's like encounter hit stun or something. So like if it hits a smidge lower, that would become a more universally better move. Give Ino her 663 dash from Xrd. Ino's good, just God's trash damage. So there's a whole bunch of things. Her damage could be higher. Her dash speed could be a little faster. Like, you know how many people get blown up because they have to double dash? Like, if you're 1/3 screen away, right? She has to dash, and then maybe stroke the big tree or risk being anti-air with a third dash. So if you're like 1/3 screen away, one dash, drop, another dash, drop, and then stroke the big tree or overhead. And then that's how she gets in, and that's a lot of fucking risk. No one else has to do that. Fucking other people could like fucking Ram could run straight in. So Badguy charges at you like Ramon, you know. Leo's got his Berserker Slash and shit. Full screen dash the big dick Ino play. You could get Totsugeki with Mei. Like why is Ino doing little dash, 50-50 where you could get punished by either throw or anti-air. Geo has Spiral Arrow. So, yeah, I mean, theoretically, you could stroke the big tree, but stroke the big tree is negative and you get thrown out of it. It's rough, right? It's rough. If she has better frames on stroke the big tree, which is dangerous, which is really, really dangerous, or she has a slightly better dash, I think that would fix her. Low damage aside, right? Like, her not so amazing damage for execution aside. Millia has kind of the same thing. But like Millia doesn't have the mobility mobility handicap that Ino has. Once that is fixed, Ino's gonna be great. Ino be dive kicking to get stuff done. She has to dive kick a little bit too. You could like neutral jump or slightly jump forward dive kick to get some air. But like you're landing, if you didn't like clip them in RC, you're getting punished. Like that thing does not have a fast whiff recovery. So there's that. All right, that's enough about Ino. Chipp sold here? Interesting. You don't think Chipp is gets sold here? You should watch some Japanese gameplay. You should look at Kazunoko. You should look at that one Chipp player that only plays Chipp. Forgot his name at the moment. Also Japanese. But yeah, no. Chipp. You're in for some shit. Once you see Samito. There you go. He knows that's the one. Samito. Next character. Yeah, it's Potemkin's bottom 3. Chad. I saw the comments. Why is Potemkin bottom 3? Alright, so the reason why Potemkin is bottom 3 is because his anti-air options are okay, right? Yeah, you unless he has 50% tension, I am very comfortable. I am very, very comfortable with jumping at Potemkin. But Bucky is a Potemkin up player. He thinks Potemkin is a god. But so what does Potemkin need help on? Besides his limited mobility, he loses like 7-3 to Axl, right? He loses 7-3 to Axl, so like that's a thing. Axl being in the game nerfs some. Ramlethal being in the game hurts some. Mei not so much, but Leo could kind of keep him out too. Nagoriyuki, I think it's Nagoriyuki favored. Potemkin is not god, he is a demon. So like if you play Ramlethal, Nagoriyuki, Axl, like this guy's a joke. I think Mei probably has a decent time. But Potemkin does have a better matchup against maybe Chipp, Millia, Geo, because they have to get in his face. But if you have any option where you don't have to be in Potemkin's face, you have a projectile. To play a character with a projectile, Potemkin is gonna have to work to get in. Once he gets in, he's in. He's gonna do like fucking like 90% in one combo, and then he tags you again, and you're dead. But he's the one that has to take the risks. He is the one that has to take the risk, not you. He needs to get hurt on his way in. And if you are not hurting him on his way in, you're approaching the matchup wrong, and you're jumping at him into his sweet spots. So if you're jumping at Potemkin and telling me Potemkin is ridiculous, I am judging you so hard inside. It's like, why do you jump into the arms of the big sexy grappler? What are you doing? Now, if you don't jump into the arms of the big sexy grappler and you play the matchup like you're supposed to, like against most grapplers, and make him work on his way in, Potemkin has to sweat, he has to struggle, and then he starts feeling really sorry about his character choice. Like, I have seen a Potemkin player just question his life choices left and right against various players. You can't hurt him without getting close to him though. Sweaty robots, exactly. He's human being under there. So he ends like, I can't hurt him without getting close to him though. It's true, but the other thing about that is that Potemkin also doesn't have amazing anti-airs, like I said, right? Like, what's he gonna do? 2H you? I mean, if he 2H or he does the heat fist against you, that's a hard read. You're predictable. If he does the fist against you and 2H against you, those things do not have amazing startup, and like you're a little bit predictable in your approach. And like he definitely outplayed you there, I think. Like, and anytime that a Potemkin grabs me out of the air, I know I fucked up because I telegraphed me jumping. So if they made his anti-airs a little bit faster, he might be very, very good. He might be very, very strong. But for the most part, you could like clown on him and jump over his head, left, right, zoop, zoop, and like, unless he commits to 2H or Heavenly Potemkin Buster when he has 50% tension, or like he tries to hit you with his 6P, right? This shit. Yeah, no, it's gonna be sad time. They buff Pot and he'd be pretty busted. The Prey, yeah, he prays he hits you with the 6P. Like you could get away with some bullshit jumping at Pot if he doesn't have meter. Even if he does have meter, the interactions with Heavenly Potemkin Buster is jank as hell. He is jank as hell, right? So like, sometimes you can punch him out of Heavenly Potemkin Buster in the air, and I've seen it many times. People have like just punched him in the dick while he's flying up. It's like, oh, well, guess I wasted 50% tension even though I hard read you correctly and jumped at you. It also loses the Totsugeki. We saw that interaction recently too. Totsugeki to the dick on Potemkin after he did Heavenly Potemkin Buster, which was the correct read. What are things we can do? We can buff his anti-airs, and then he'll be a great character. I will be on the side of Bucky and be like, this character is sick, but if they don't buff his anti-airs, what can they do? They can make his frame data on his jabs a little bit better, like pre-beta. They can increase his frames on hammer fall, like pre-beta, when people were thinking Potemkin's really scary. So like they could revert back to any of those things. They can make hammer fall less negative. They can make his jabs come out faster. They could give him faster anti-airs, 1 or maybe 2, but not all 3. And then Potemkin would be in a good place. He would be amazing. But not all 3. You give him all 3, we get Beta 1 Potemkin again, and then James Chen starts beating some of the best players in the world. Then James Chen beats a top 8 player, a commentator beats a top 8 evil Guilty Gear player, you know, that's when that happens. If you give them all 3 of those, the anti-air, the more plus hammer falls, and faster jabs. Make Heavenly Potemkin Buster an auto kill. I think if you have 100% tension, it might kill. Yeah. Don't quote me on that. You could RC the Potemkin Buster into a corner combo. I think he might be dead. Don't quote me on that. I think you'll get very, very close. I might try that later tonight. Alright. Who's the next character? Are we going to the Code Hands tier yet? Are we going to the Code Hands tier? I'm putting him here. I actively seek Damn, just found out that Pot fell off the top tier after that plus unblocked Mega Fist. Yeah, no, they can increase the frame on Mega Fist too. Absolute bias, the plot twist, Anji. Alright, so why is Faust here? We're not talking about Anji yet. Relax, chat. Relax. Alright, why is Faust here and not Anji? Why? Alright, the reason why is this is a hard character to rate. What do you need? This is wrong already? Well, this is my opinion, and you can have your own opinions. That's how human beings work. He's only there because you like him, bias. Alright, why is Faust not lost, right? He's Faust and not lost in my tier list. If you guys are aware of a Japanese player called Nage, where everybody steals tech off of, Nage has been basically rewriting the book on how to play this character. We're talking corner to corner, you know, like 60% combos off a bomb from his side. He's doing all these crazy, amazing things. He has full screen command grabs situations. He has 3/4 screen poke with his 6H that could be, you know, canceled into other moves. Might not necessarily be super safe, but he has the range. That's the thing. He has the range. He could poke from really far away, and as long as he's not throwing items, you can play him halfway decently. The damage is not bad. The damage is pretty okay. Not amazing. Probably like Millia damage. But because he has the whole Afro thing going on, he has he has decent damage and he has great range. The reason why he's bad is his super sucks. Alright, his one reversal super, it sucks. It has no hitbox. It comes out slow as hell. Alright? And so you want me playing someone soul tier? Absolutely. So yeah, hitbox sucks, slow as hell, and it has no reach at all. And the only time you use his super is basically in a combo or a ridiculously hard call out where someone's approaching you from the ground. If someone's jumping on you on your wake up and you super, Faust is gonna miss and die. So if they buff the hitbox for that super, instantly a little bit better. If they buff the startup speed of that super, instantly a little bit better. But that lack of reversal, the fact that it sucks so much is really bad. Reason number 2 why he sucks. Every time he throws a trumpet. Shoutouts to 5k whiffing on a standing geo. Yep, 5k whiffing on random shit, people ducking or whatever. Awful. Let's say that's reason 2. 5k being questionable as hell. Reason number 3 about why Faust sucks is whenever he throws an item and he throws a trumpet, that's your opponent's trumpet. Unless you spend meter into like scarecrow shit, or like, you know, you mix into it and then you RC out of it, that trumpet belongs to your opponent. And yeah, good luck fighting for it. You're probably gonna get hurt going in. If they moved it closer to Faust as a balancing kind of thing, that might help him out a little bit. But currently, he throws it half screen, it lands on your opponent, they get trumpet, you got double jump in the air, you bomb bag, and like you're in bad shape. You just wasted time, you wasted precious frames, and that applies basically every time he throws an item too. The entire time he's throwing an item, he is vulnerable. So if you just like super him, or you DP him, or you like 6P him. 6P also hits all his long range option. If you see him do that fucking 6X shit, or like, you know, you see him fucking try to stab you, 6P that shit. It'll hit the hurt box on his scalpel, and he'll feel really, really fucking sad about it. It used to be even worse right now. He threw it almost directly to them without the opponent even having a chance to move to get it. Yup, it's not good. So either make some of that shit disjointed, right? Make some of that shit disjointed, make his super a little bit better, and fix the interaction on trumpet. And I think Faust would do a little bit better. He might even be amazing if he had some of these fixes. All right, but like, there's just so many things that the longer you play him, the more you find out how hard he has to work compared to everything else, and it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. All right, guys, I'm gonna take a sip before I get into this next one. All right, a moment you guys been waiting for. Anji, you might need more than a sip. Do we put him in cold hands or don't? I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. Cold hands. I'm not saying never play Anji. I would not say never play Anji. Anji he has damage. If he did not have the damage that he did, he would be a don't. But he's currently under cold hands. Why is Anji in cold hands? Why is he the worst character in the game? So as previously discussed, if you put him side by side with Badguy, who is ridiculously good, and you looked at his frame data side by side, you compare reach, Badguy does it better. Everybody else does it better. You compare the range, everybody else does it better. I feel like Mei might have better range with her 6P than some of the fan moves that he has. I might be exaggerating, but maybe not by much. His range sucks. Alright, the startup on his move sucks. So it has what? 10 frame far ass, 12 frame, or I mean 11 frame far ass or some shit like that. His is like 15, 14, 15 far ass. Like, it's basically like a heavy move. His heavy even worse. You know, it's also about like, 15, 16 frames for startup. His is like 12. Someone has a 3 frame 5K. Anji's fastest move is his 5P, which is 6 frames. 6 frames. Like, what is this character doing that makes you want to play him? Alright, his no standing overheads. What else does he have? Butterfly takes forever to come out. By the time you like pose and think about throwing the butterfly, you already got slapped in the face by someone's fast as hell move. Butterfly is like 20 plus frame startup. Why? Did they think it was gonna be too good? All of Fujin's follow-ups, okay? 6H into Fujin isn't even a true block string. You can poke out of that. If you Fujin, any character with a DP punishes 4 out of your 5 options, right? Like, and you would get punished for it from a DP. Now the 5th option, when he does Nagiha, the low, if they guess that, then they can punish you with a DP. then they can punish you with a DP. So like you do Fujin against Badguy, Ramlethal, Chipp, Leo, anybody, Nagoriyuki if he has super, Millia, I'm not sure. Yeah, actually Millia. If some of these characters need tension, but some of these characters don't need tension to punish Anji on Fujin, right? Every time he does a Fujin, he takes a risk and he's getting hurt. If he guesses correctly, he'll get some damage. If he gets a little bit of damage. If he guesses incorrectly, you lose your turn and you took damage instead. So every time you use his main approach to a Fujin, you're blowing yourself up. The Wind God, right? Wind God is what Fujin means in Japanese. Like, the only thing that's blowing here isn't the wind, it's him getting blown up. Anji's whole thing is Oki, and that show's taken now. All he's got is spin. He's got the spin now. He has an anti-air. They're great, but the issue with spin, you know what's stupid about spin? Is armor doesn't start until 10 frames. Armor on spin on Anji does not start instantaneously. It's not frame 1. It starts frame 10. What the fuck? Is this Daisuke's vision? Like, so slow moves, no range. His jumping H, you seen that shit? Crap, complete ass. Right? When he was faster, it was better. When he had a better air dash, it was better. Fujin's completely punishable. The counter super, alright, that's kind of fun. That's okay. Counter super's fun. But you combine all of those things that he would used to be good, right? Is he used to have really fast Fujin that was really hard to see. He used to have the side switch hop move, which I think he definitely needs in this game. Like the little side switch hop that he does, or that super. If he gets that, he'll be better. But he doesn't have that. He doesn't have speed. He doesn't have a safe approach. And if you're winning with Anji, you're basically winning with Dan. And you deserve the win, right? Like if you beat somebody with Anji, you outplayed them. Congratulations, you played the worst character in the game. and you beat somebody that arguably might be better than you if you actually won, right? So like in that case, if you're playing Anji, you are actually playing with a slight handicap, and you're doing really well, and you deserve your win. I would never get mad if I lost an Anji. I know I fucked up there. This character has a lot going against him. Not damage, his damage is decent, but in terms of approach, you gotta shut him down. You're gonna learn some Anji after all this talking? Alright, man. Alright, Anji becomes Kanji Tear. Oh no! Oh no, that's right. Alright, and that's it for the tier list.